Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about version control systems. The version control system that I'm going to be focusing on is called Git. So let's start by downloading Git. Downloads, Windows. What Git does is it allows you and your team to organize the changes you make to your code. Once Git's done, I'll show you how to navigate the installer. Installing Git's pretty easy. All you have to do is click the next button, really. One thing I would recommend is to check this option, use Git from the Windows command prompt. I already have Git installed, so I'm not going to finish this installer. But all you have to do is wait for this to finish, and Git should work on your computer. Anyway, once you have Git installed, open up a command line and type in Git. If you see something like this, this means that you've installed Git correctly. Now that you've done that, you need to make a repository. A repository is a place that you store your code so that you and your teammates can get changes that everybody makes to the code. The website that most people use for this is GitHub. So let's go to GitHub and make our first repository. If you don't have a GitHub account, you should make one now. Once you do, go over here and click New Repository. Let's call this repository BattleBot. And we can type in a description. Now we click Create Repository. Now let's create our first bot. The way we do this is we follow the instructions that GitHub gives us. So in the Teams folder, let's start by making a folder called BattleBot. And BattleBot for right now will behave exactly like the example player. We'll change the package name so that it's correct for the folder. Now, let's go to the BattleBot folder in the command line, and we'll type what this GitHub page tells us to. Git init. This initializes the repository locally. Now we'll type git add, but we want to add our file robotplayer.java. This makes sure that Git knows to keep track of this file. Now we can type git commit to prepare to send it to the repository online. Finally, we'll type this mouthful. This tells our local version of Git where to put the changes that we've made. And finally, git push sends it all to where we want it to go. Type in our username and password, and we're good to go. So what we've done is we've sent robotplayer.java in here to the BattleBot repository online. So as you can see, I've refreshed the page, and now robotplayer.java shows up here. So let's say we're a different member of our team, and we want to get the changes that I've made. What you would do is type git pull. And it says already up to date because there haven't been any changes made. But if another team member wanted to work on this bot, they could type git pull, and they would automatically retrieve all the changes that I've made. So now let's make one more change. Let's try adding a line here. So every robot will print out 5. To push this change, type in git commit. I type in -a, which means commit everything. You can enter a message. And now commit tells Git that it's ready to push these changes to the repository online. Then we type git push. And we're all good to go. Again, I'll refresh this page, And notice that Robot Player now has the change that I made. Let's test this out to make sure that it works. I'll use BattleBot, and I'll play it against Example Funks Player. So as you can see, there are a lot of 5s being printed. So it looks like this change worked. Anyway, that's how to set up version control. Hope this was useful, and if you have any more questions, feel free to ask.